The world only steps aside for those who know exactly where they're going. James Allen Sigma. Ladies, let me ask you this. Are you living in the full force of your power, or are you hesitating, questioning, shrinking? Because if you're not a little Delulu about your strength, you are holding yourself back. The world has programmed women to think that confidence must be earned, that power must be given, and that being certain of your own worth makes you too much. But let's set the record straight. Uncertainty is the real enemy, not ambition. Today, we're tearing down the mental barriers that keep you from stepping into your limitless potential. If you're ready to shift gears and own your path, stay with me. And if you're new here, subscribe now, because this is where Sigma ladies learn to rule in silence. Ever noticed how some people seem to command attention without demanding it? That's an energy that operates on a different frequency, a kind of phantom force. This is the ability to move through the world with an unshakable presence, without ever needing to raise your voice, explain yourself, or seek approval. The people who master this force don't wait to be recognized. They expect recognition, and that expectation shifts the dynamic in any room they enter. If you don't see yourself as powerful, no one else will. A lot of women are raised to believe that their presence is secondary, that they need to be loud or overly accommodating to be noticed. But the truth is, the most powerful women don't seek external validation. They cultivate a presence so magnetic that their absence is felt even before their presence is acknowledged. This is the essence of the phantom force. The way you carry yourself, the way you respond instead of react, and the way you make others feel without trying too hard. This is what sets you apart. The key is detachment. You must detach from the need to be liked, to be understood, to be accepted. The moment you do, you become untouchable. People will feel your presence before they even see you. This is why some women can walk into a room and immediately shift the energy, because they are operating from a place of complete internal validation. They know they belong, and that self-assurance is felt before it is seen. How do you apply this? Stop over-explaining yourself. Stop waiting for permission. Start moving with the quiet confidence that you belong in every space you enter. Walk into a room with a sense of purpose, even if you don't say a single word. The less you seek approval, the more powerful you become. Your presence should be an unspoken force, something that lingers in the air long after you've left. The world calls women delusional when they dare to dream beyond their circumstances. But let me ask you this. At what point does a dream become a reality? Everything that exists today was once considered impossible. Planes, artificial intelligence, space exploration, even the internet, all of it began as what some would call delusions. The difference between those who create history and those who simply watch it unfold is conviction. The fine line between being delusional and being a visionary is the ability to see beyond what currently exists. The greatest leaders, innovators, and disruptors weren't following trends. They were creating them. They saw a future that didn't yet exist, and instead of waiting for permission to believe in it, they acted as if it were already real. The world might not understand your vision yet, but that's not your problem. Your only job is to keep building until they have no choice but to see it. When you declare something before it's visible, people will laugh. They will call you unrealistic. They will say it's impossible until you make it happen. That's why you have to be a little Delulu about your success. You have to believe in it with an intensity that makes failure impossible. Not because failure won't happen, it will, but because every failure is just another step toward making your vision a reality. So, how do you apply this? Speak your goals into existence. Even if no one else believes it yet, act as if it's already happening. Work as if it's inevitable. Move as if success is a given, not a possibility. Because the truth is, If you don't believe in your vision first, no one else will. You have to be the first to see it, the first to invest in it, and the first to bet on yourself. Your dreams are not too big. The world's imagination is too small. Expand it. There is a reason why the most powerful individuals don't broadcast their every move. The loudest voice in the room is rarely the most influential. Power isn't about volume, it's about control. The Sigma female understands this instinctively. She plays the long game, mastering the art of the silent power play. While others are busy announcing their intentions, seeking attention and proving themselves, she is strategizing, observing, and moving in ways that others don't see until it's too late. People are conditioned to equate visibility with strength, but the truth is, real strength doesn't always need to be on display. Think about the most dangerous forces in nature: the wind that shifts landscapes, the deep currents of the ocean, the tectonic plates beneath the earth. They move in silence, and yet they change everything. The same principle applies to power dynamics. When you hold back information, when you master the element of surprise, when you operate from a place of mystery, you gain an edge that few can match. So how do you apply this in your life? First, stop revealing your next move. Social media has trained people to overshare, to announce every goal, every plan, every milestone before it even materializes. But real power comes from discretion. You don't need to tell people what you're about to do. Just do it. Let your results speak for themselves. Second, become unreactive. When you don't react emotionally to situations, you maintain control. If someone tries to provoke you, let them wonder if they even got to you. If someone doubts you, let them wait and see. Your silence is often more powerful than 1,000 words. The Sigma female's greatest strength is that she is unpredictable. She doesn't follow trends, she doesn't seek approval, and she doesn't operate on anyone else's timeline. And because of this, no one can truly anticipate her next move. That is power. Have you ever stopped to consider how you perceive yourself? Not the version of yourself that you show to the world, but the version that exists in your own mind when no one is watching. If you looked in the mirror and met yourself as a stranger, would you be impressed? Would you be intimidated? Or would you feel indifferent? Because here's the truth. How you see yourself is how the world will see you. Confidence isn't something that happens externally first. It starts in the mind. You can't command the respect of others if you can't even command your own respect. You can't expect others to see you as powerful if, deep down, you still see yourself as small, as uncertain, as someone who has to prove their worth. The Sigma female understands that self-perception is everything. She doesn't wait for others to validate her. She validates herself. And that energy? It's magnetic. So how do you change your self-perception? First, audit your thoughts. What do you tell yourself daily? If your internal dialogue is filled with self-doubt, you need to reprogram it. Speak to yourself with the confidence of someone who knows exactly who she is. Second, embody the version of yourself you want to become. If you see yourself as powerful, you will start to move differently, speak differently, carry yourself differently. And when you do that, the world has no choice but to respond accordingly. The mirror doesn't lie. It reflects back exactly what you believe about yourself. So make sure you're seeing the right version. Most people fear uncertainty. They see it as a threat, a void where things can go wrong. But Sigma females, they thrive in it. While the majority hesitate, overthink, and wait for the right moment, a Sigma woman understands that uncertainty is where power is built. There will never be a perfect time, a guaranteed outcome, or a risk-free decision. If you wait for certainty, you'll wait forever. Controlled chaos is still control. The ability to move forward in uncertainty is what separates those who lead from those who follow. Every major success story is built on someone who moved forward before they had all the answers. They didn't wait for clarity, they created it. The Sigma female operates with this mindset. She doesn't need a full roadmap to take the first step. She understands that clarity comes through action, not hesitation. Think of the most powerful figures throughout history. They didn't have a guarantee that their vision would succeed. They simply decided that uncertainty wasn't going to stop them. This applies to every aspect of life: business, relationships, personal growth. If you can learn to stay grounded while everything around you is uncertain, you become unstoppable. So how do you master this? First, develop the habit of making decisions quickly. The more time you spend in indecision, the weaker your confidence becomes. Train yourself to assess situations, trust your intuition, and act. Second, accept that discomfort is part of the process. Most people avoid uncertainty because it makes them uncomfortable. But if you can sit in that discomfort and keep moving, you develop an edge that most people will never have. Third, shift your perspective. Instead of seeing uncertainty as a risk, see it as an opportunity. The unknown is where you build power. The moment you stop fearing it, you gain control over it. Sigma females don't just survive uncertainty, they use it as a weapon. If you can master this skill, nothing will ever hold you back. The most powerful prisons aren't made of walls and bars, they're built in the mind. Society has conditioned women to think small, to play it safe, to follow rules that were never meant to benefit them. But the Sigma female understands that these limitations are nothing more than illusions. The real prison isn't external, it's mental. And once you realize that, you are free. From the time we are young, we are told to be humble, to wait our turn, to be realistic. But these are just ways of keeping us from stepping into our full power. The Sigma woman doesn't ask for permission. She doesn't wait for an invitation. She takes control of her own narrative. If you let the world define your limits, you will stay exactly where you are. But the moment you decide that these limitations don't apply to you, everything changes. Breaking out of this mental prison requires a shift in mindset. First, you must unlearn everything that has kept you small. Question every belief that tells you that you need to wait, that you need to be more acceptable, that you need to tone yourself down. Second, take action that contradicts these limiting beliefs. If you've been told that you need to wait for experience before you can succeed, take a risk now. If you've been told that you shouldn't stand out, make yourself impossible to ignore. Third, surround yourself with people who think limitlessly. The fastest way to break out of a mental prison is to be around those who refuse to live in one. The Sigma female doesn't let the world dictate her power. She creates her own reality. If you're still living by the rules that were designed to keep you small, it's time to break free. No more waiting, no more shrinking. The only limits that exist are the ones you refuse to let go of. Powerful people don't need introductions. Their presence announces them before they even enter a room. This is what I call the echo effect, the ability to create an impact so strong that people know who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of before you even speak. Most people think influence comes from what you say, but in reality, true influence is built long before you open your mouth. Think about the figures in history who have commanded respect without effort. The ones who don't need to justify themselves, who don't beg for recognition. They don't chase opportunities. Opportunities come to them. Why? Because their reputation speaks for them. The Sigma female understands that her name should carry weight. She doesn't just exist, she builds an identity so strong that others recognize it, even in her absence. So how do you create this effect? First, be intentional about your presence. Everything from your posture to the way you carry yourself sends a message. Confidence isn't just in words, it's in the way you move, the way you listen, the way you enter a space. Second, develop a personal brand. Whether you realize it or not, people are already forming an opinion about you. Control the narrative. Decide what you want to be known for and build that reputation consistently. Third, let your work speak for itself. People who truly have power don't need to prove it. They show it through action. When you deliver results without constantly seeking validation, people start talking about you even when you're not in the room. The Sigma female doesn't demand respect. She commands it. She understands that her reputation is her most powerful asset, and she cultivates it with precision. When your presence alone shifts the energy of a room, you don't need to chase anything. Everything comes to you. There is one thing that separates those who leave a lasting impact from those who remain forgotten: the ability to leave before they are asked to. Power is knowing when to walk away, whether it's from a conversation, a relationship, an opportunity, or a situation that no longer serves you. A Sigma female is never stuck. She moves on her own terms. Most people overstay their welcome because they fear what happens next. They cling to jobs they've outgrown, relationships that drain them, and spaces that no longer align with their energy. But true power isn't just in knowing how to start. It's in knowing when to stop. When you master the ability to walk away without hesitation, you become untouchable. The key is detachment. If something no longer aligns with your goals, if a person no longer adds value to your life, if an environment no longer elevates you, leave. Don't explain. Don't seek closure. Just go. The Sigma female doesn't waste time in places that no longer challenge her growth. She moves forward with clarity, never looking back. This applies to every area of life. If an opportunity isn't elevating you, create a new one. If a conversation isn't worth your energy, excuse yourself. If a connection drains you more than it empowers you, let it go. You do not owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your own evolution. The Sigma female's strength lies in her ability to pivot, to walk away from anything that no longer serves her. Your power isn't just in what you build, it's in what you let go of. Sigma ladies, power isn't something you wait for, it's something you take. If you've been doubting yourself, consider this your wake-up call. Be a little Delulu about your success, because every trailblazer in history was once called unrealistic. Now, it's time for you to step up. If you're ready to tap into your full potential, subscribe to this channel and join the movement. Let's build a world where Sigma females don't just exist, they lead. Until next time, remember, they don't have to see it yet, but you do.